Hello everyone, and welcome to this blog post video where we are going to talk about one of the biggest surprises that retrofitting is coming, and it is coming as early as next week. Yes, not only are we getting a quest line, but we are also getting our first batch of retrofitted horses. So I figured we would talk about the blog. But first, why not we take a ride through the mountains and just talk about this update. Well, not update. Well, it is an update, but big news about retrofitting horses to come, shall we? Alright, so let's start here. Last year we started a project that we, at the time, called the No More Retrofit Project. Retrofitting is a process that we use to make sure our different horse breeds can use TACK and items we create for them. And by TACK, we actually mean a new TACK messages, the 3D art term for shape of a piece. As we can already provide color and material variations on the TACK fitted to each horse, we wanted to make this process less time consuming and allow us to more easily make an entirely new pieces of TACK available to most of our horses at once. The current system is very time consuming, requiring us to manually fit each piece to each horse and test them for any issues. There are many reasons why we ended up in this situation where we can simply copy and paste where we cannot simply copy and paste the retrofitting of the TACK between horses, but mainly it's due to the fact that we have over and over again sought to upgrade how we create our horses over the years. We are always striving for better looking, better moving, and sounding horses. Okay, so basically what they're saying here is why kind of that process of retrofitting stopped in the first place. Because as Star Stable upgrades their system, as they always do, like I said, Star Stable is very much a changing and evolving game. There's never not going to be changes added to Star Stable, and they're always going to strive for the next best thing. So, this is why it's kind of taking a slight pause, and it's also why, if you remember when the Corella was released, you could only use that special saddle. I forget the name of the saddle, but the saddle that came with it, you could only use it not even for retrofitted horses. You could only use it for like what is it? A Corello, Hanoverian, and the mule. That's the only breeds that can wear that saddle. Specifically. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But this obviously goes for other TACK, and we haven't had it retrofitted to like older horses. But they're just basically explaining what's going on. And this is a photo of them pretty much explaining the jump saddle. I can't really read what exactly they're saying here, but these are like really cool photos. Like if you want to like zoom in on them, they don't really aren't the best quality to like see what exactly like these don't say, but it shows you like the X size, the Y size, rotate saddle, different, like I guess their actual like system, like how they want it to actually work. But like I said, it's all very complicated, and I would love to break it down, but the wording is kind of pixelated, so I really can't read it as well as I could. Alright, so the solution. To not be stuck with only TACK pieces we already have an infinitely long list of horses to retrofit at any point of time. We decided to create a technical solution to help us. Leota S., our lead character artist, led the charge. Together with Pieter, I hope I'm saying your name right, from the engine team. We have been working on this new system for quite some time now, making progress toward the release. In fall of last year, it looked like we would be able to get the system done before the end of the year and start getting horses soon afterwards. This was communicated in the blog post saying that we would retrofit all Gen 3 horses by summer of 2025. But as many of you know, game development is not always a straight road. That date is no longer realistic for completing all the work. We are at the point now where the system works, and we have worked on 3 horses as test cases and aim to ship them out to you as soon as possible. However, we will not try to make promises on how quickly we can do the remaining horses. We will bring them in small batches. Since the system is now in place, we will start seeing things go faster for each horse we do. The new system is now simply called new TACK system, and we call the process of moving horses over to it is porting them to the new TACK system. We are super excited about this new system and are eager to bring the fruits of our labor to you players. Okay, so let's look at this photo here. So, I don't know if these are the horses that they are working on currently. It looks like it's just like a model to like show how they look, but it could be. It could be. However, they did say only 3 breeds, so I can't really tell you which breeds would be. I mean, I would love to see my Irish cobs, like the Jorvik Irish cobs, because they're not true Irish cobs, get a retrofit first. But I'll be happy with anything. Because it looks like here we have the Hanoverian, the Andranus draft. I'm probably still not saying that breed right. I give up with trying to figure out how to say some of these breed names. We have the Dutch Warmblood, the Dartmoor, and I believe that's the Fjord. So, definitely interesting. So basically showing us the notes and everything. I apologize, guys. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning as I'm getting this video up for you, so be patient with me. We did not fully understand the number of placement issues we would have, just how much testing it would require, and one more thing, living up to our own quality standards. The amount of fine-tuning we have to put into placing TACK on our current horses is quite a lot, trying to minimize clipping, stretching, wrongly shaped straps, etc. The previous process required us to do this in a custom way on each breed, allowing for inner perfectionists unlimited ways to fix minor issues. The new system is based on having a few custom tweaks per horse as possible, allowing us in the art craft to quickly set up new pieces of TACK or adjust placement on older pieces. This means changing the placement is done per horse, but will affect that type of TACK on the horse, and some tweaks to meshes, for example, will affect all horses. As you can imagine, such a large change comes some interesting looking issues. However, we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We chose 3 very different looking breeds so we could test the system to its limits. We really do think that will pay off when working on porting the rest of the horses. Okay, so let's take a look at this image here. So it looks like they have the Belgian Warmblood, the Gotland Pony, and the Irish Cob. So if I had to make a guess, I think that these might be the 3 breeds, because they're both very different. You have the Irish Cob, which is a stocky draft type. You have the Gotland Pony, which is a tiny, well, obviously it's a pony. And then you have the Belgian Warmblood, which is obviously a warm blood breed, like the classic warm blood breed. So these are kind of just like the images of them testing things out, and obviously the glitches and bugs that came with it. So obviously you have this picture where the rider is upside down inside the horse. The horse is invisible in this one. The bridle is completely stretched out in the global store screen. Obviously with this saddle pad, it's obviously inside the Irish Cob. Bridles all over the place. And with the Gotland Pony, obviously tons of graphical errors here. Alright, so what will this give to the players? One thing this will give to the players, of course, is the ability to use new TACK meshes we have created since the last retrofit of that horse. This is a very welcome for many players. The long list of expectations in the shop will ideally be a thing of the past, but applicable to older breeds. Sorry, Gen 1 and Gen 2. We are also building for the future with this system, as anything new we want to do with the horse tack that really benefits the system. We would love to add highly requested items, tack items like blankets, multiple saddlebags, additional horse decorations, bareback pads, and more. There is more than just a tack system holding us back from releasing new tack slots, but it is one of the most important upgrades we need to do. Alright, so let's go to this image where it shows the Irish Cob, which makes me think this will probably be one of the breeds coming out on, what is it? I believe it is, I know it's like June 4th or something. Yeah, June 4th. Because I just did a video on the Trailblazer track, so that would make sense. Yep, June 4th. Okay. So, that's what kind of leads me to believe that probably the Irish Cob, Belgian Warmblood, and Gotland Pony are going to be first. Obviously, I have another post to show you guys at the end of this video. That one of the developers of the game posted. That kind of like reassures my theory. And this other image we are going to look at is what they're experimenting with. Now, these are not confirmed. They are just experiments. So we have a stable rug here. Very cute. And we have a different saddlebags. Obviously, one on the top, one on the bottom. And then we have actually like an actual harness, which is really cool to see. Visual bugs and changes to existing horses. When we port old horses to the new system, we do our very best to ensure the quality stays high like it is now. However, we will not mix between the old and new systems on the same horse. So there will be slight changes when moving over. So here are the examples. Placement and size of tack that can change slightly. Sometimes this will look even better. We need to make some adjustments to the thickness of pads and other meshes to minimize clipping parts of the tack going through other parts of the horse. Some minor visual bugs will slip through the net, but can be fixed if we get reports of them. So basically what they're saying here is that obviously, because this is a new system, we need to help Star Stable stay on top of it. So when they're released, and when we're obviously, if we own this certain breed of horse, we should be testing for ourselves how this horse does move in certain tack. What do they look like, and if there's any sort of crazy bugs that come with it. Alright, so this is obviously on a Dutch Warmblood, and we have a Western saddle. The bridle is new, the saddle is it's original, and then we have the original pad here. So when you look between the old system and the new, obviously the little ear bands are definitely thicker. The strap here is shorter. I can see that. The reins are down a little bit lower. I can see that as well. The pad is much thicker. And I also noticed that the rider is sitting back more appropriate for a Western rider. Not so far forward like an English rider. So that's very interesting to see. I don't know if you guys ever caught that, but honestly, the tack really didn't caught me. It was how the rider was sitting is what caught me. Alright, so some of the old horses already have issues and bugs. These will most likely remain as is unless they are related to the tack system. Continue to make us aware of the most annoying ones, and we will try to fix them as we go. But remember, we're only supporting Gen 3 and newer. So, once obviously all the horses are upgraded, well, Gen 3 horses, let me clarify. Gen 3 horses, as they are upgraded to the new system, obviously these bugs should go away. Now, obviously, again, we do need to report these bugs as we see them. Don't obviously, we're going to suggest that I or other content creators or other players will go report these issues. Obviously, if you see an issue, report it to Star Stable immediately. So that way it can get fixed faster and we can all be thrilled. And obviously, as in terms of Gen 3, only Gen 3 horses will be in the system. If you have like a Gen 2 Morgan or Gen 2 Mustang or Gen 1 Warmblood, obviously they will not be upgraded to the system. They just won't. Because they cannot handle the system. They're built on a completely different system. It's been said multiple times, so I'm sure everyone knows this by now, but I figured I would reiterate that fact. Alright, so the next image I have to show you guys is a new saddle meshes in progress. Now, obviously because we don't have a system yet, well, the system's not in place yet, they are experimenting with new meshes. This is not official, but eventually this will become official in-game once the system is upgraded. Obviously, you gotta realize the system's gotta be way upgraded before these things can even come in-game. But as you can see, we have like a new English type of saddle. I think the pad is kind of new. It looks new. But we have so many English pads, they all kind of look the same to me. And we have this harness, which is very cool. Alright, as I mentioned, we have a lot of plans to bring you players new tack pieces. And first will be something we already have a tack slot for, which new models of saddles. Thanks to new system, the ported horses are able to make use of these new models immediately when released. The trick is to coordinate artist time with testing time, so we can deliver some sweet looking tack pieces that fit well. No promises on when the new meshes are coming, but it is happening. When we release new tack pieces, we will have a selection of breeds that we'll test. But we will not be able to test them all fully on the same detail level as we've done in the past. Excuse me. The system is built in such a way that we should not be seeing any major issues, but please let us know if you do find things we don't catch. We will then continuously decide on what we do based on the severity of issue, time to fix it, and if fixing it could cause worse problems. I also I also want to personally thank the team working on the system and implementation, the porting, and testing. Thank you, Amanda, Christian, Francis, Leota S, Leota A, Natalia, Oliver, Peter, and everyone else contributing to make this happen. We hope you are excited as we are about finally seeing a new tax system on old and new horses alike, and about having more fun things brought to SSO for the new tax system in the future. Alright, so basically what they're saying is, to offer some key points here, is we are getting a new tax system, and as the Star Stable update just said today in the news, we are getting our first. I do think it's going to be the Gotland pony, the Irish cob, and the Belgian warm blood, just how they phrased it. Let me see if I can find it again. Alright, so here it is again. As you can probably imagine, such a huge change creates some interesting looking issues. However, we are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. We chose 3 very different looking breeds so we could test the system to its limit, but we really do think that will pay off on porting the rest of the horses. So that tells me that it is probably these 3 breeds, which is Belgian Warmblood, Irish Cob, Gotland Pony. And I'd be very happy with these 3 breeds to be first. Especially my Irish Cobs. They've long deserved this more than any other breeds. So let me know what you guys think there. But I will show you guys the Instagram post now. Alright, so this is from You Are Now Incognito. So here's what she writes. Today was the first big deadline for the new tax system. Next Wednesday it goes live. 3 horses will use this new tax system, and we will port the rest to the new system as soon as we can. I have been working a lot on this system for over a year, from ideation to finish. It's so fun to finally see it go live. It had to be celebrated with cake. The team has been a small, tight-knit group of incredible, skilled, and wonderful people. I am so proud of everyone involved. Everyone's been a warrior. Speaking of warriors, ain't the Gotland incredibly cute in the warrior mask? There will only be 2 restricted meshes not added to the tax system because of technical reasons: the warrior bridle and the Arabian show halter. The rest is going to be free for all once the breeds are ported to the new system. So here's what they're basically saying here. We don't count on the warrior bridle to be added to any of the other horses or the Arabian show halter. Those are going to be forever exclusive for them. But this is obviously pretty big deal. So as you can see here, you have the Gotland pony with the warrior face mask. Obviously the cake they celebrated with, and I guess the team involved. So, look how cute. I'm so excited, and that makes me think it's probably is the Gotland pony, Irish cob, and what is it? Gotland pony, Irish cob, Belgian warmblood, because that would make sense. Alright, so one comment goes, no way will the horses be able to wear your wild horse accessories, and she writes, yes they will. That's awesome. And another person writes, oh my gosh, will we soon be able to apply the mask to other horses? And obviously that's a yes. So this is obviously a very, very big deal. Huge news that we're finally getting retrofitted, and we're getting masks. We're getting pretty much everything except, again, the Mawari bridle and the Arabian show halter, which is fine. That's fine, for me at least. But this is obviously a very big deal. Alright you guys, that is pretty much it for this vlog video. Huge news that retrofitting is making a comeback as early as next week. which is such a big deal. Obviously, the system is going to take time, but I still say my money's on the Irish Cob, the Scotland Pony, and the Belgian Warm Blood to be first. I'm sticking to my theory on that, and normally I'm not that confident with these things, but it would make more sense for them to release those three, because, again, all different sizes of types of horses, so it should be interesting. Wednesday should be really fun. Can't wait to see more horses retrofitted, which means I can have more horses in my outfit of the week videos, because I'm sure you guys have noticed I don't have really like a lot of certain breeds because not a lot of them are retrofitted. But this makes me very excited to see more breeds retrofitted. Very happy about that, and I hope you guys are too. Let me know which breed of horse you guys want retrofitted most, or do you have a different theory on which breeds will get retrofitted first on June 4th, which is the first ever update with the new system. But yeah, that is pretty much it for me, you guys. So remember to keep positive. Happy trails, everyone. I will see you in the next video. Bye!